guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play A Horse with No Name by America, which is a great tune because it's just a 2-chord chord progression played basically throughout the entire tune. Now in this lesson, I'll teach you how to nail the strumming pattern for this progression, but also I'll teach you a variation to the chords using some alternative chord shapes that sound really cool, and it's the way that Jerry Beckley actually plays his part on his 12-string guitar. And finally, I'll also cover the guitar solo in this song as well. Now for the basics, you'll just need a guitar in standard tuning and you won't need a capo. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve in your guitar in general, then check out Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course and membership. Alright, let's jump into the lesson. Okay, let's get stuck into the main chord progression. Now quickly, I think it's worth mentioning that Dewey Bunnell in the band actually has his guitar detuned for this main guitar part on the 6th string acoustic. I'm not going to get into that in this lesson because it's actually quite a hassle to detune to that particular tuning, and I think the standard tuning version sounds just as good, so let's stick to that. So let's take a look at our two chords. We start off with an E minor chord, which is really simple, our middle and ring finger just on the 2nd frets of the 5th and 4th string, and we're going to strum all the strings here. That's our E minor chord, and our second chord is called a D6-9. So we're going to simultaneously move our middle finger up to the 2nd fret of the 6th string and our ring finger down to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And we're going to strum all the strings there. Now don't worry too much if your middle finger accidentally mutes the 5th string, that's completely fine. But that's our D6-9 and that's our second chord. So E minor and D6-9. Now when you're changing between these two chords, my suggestion is to move your fingers simultaneously as you're changing, as opposed to moving one finger up and then one finger down sequentially like that. You want to simultaneously move those two fingers, and that way you'll get the cleanest and quickest chord transition. Let's add some strumming patterns to these chords. Now first off, this song has a swing feel. So what that means is that the downbeats are held out longer than the upbeats. So with a continuous down, up, strumming pattern, it would sound like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Notice how I draw out that down strum a little longer than the up strums, which are fairly quick. Let's apply a super simple strumming pattern to both these chords, which is just a continuous down, up strumming pattern. This is an 8th note strumming pattern, and each chord's going to be played for a full bar. So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... So that's the easiest way you can play this song, and you could play that throughout the entire thing if you wanted. Now let's adjust those strumming patterns a tiny bit to make it sound even closer to the original recording. So first off, for our E minor, we're going to remove the up strum on the end beat after the 1. So it's down, down, up, down, up, down. Now when we go to our D6-9, our strumming pattern, with our motion, we're going to be continuously doing a down, up strumming pattern. But on the 2 beat, we're going to do a muted down strum. So what that means is we're going to take the side of our palm, and our palm's going to make contact with the strings as your pick strums the strings. So don't drag your whole hand down like this. You want to just have your palm touching the strings and pivot around that point so that your pick glides across the strings, and then you get that muted percussive strum. So just take some time to practice that muted down strum. And we're going to do that on the 2 beat. So down, up, mute, up, down, up, down, up. And one more time. Down, up, mute, up, down, up, down, up. So it's only temporary where you put your palm down to mute that down strum. We put those two chords together and it will sound like this. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And a little bit faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... So that's it for the main chord progression that you can use throughout the entire song. Now I'll teach you a slight variation of that, and this is what the 12-string guitar actually plays in the studio recording. Learning this is of course optional, it's just if you want to add some spice or variation to this song. So we'll start off with an E minor 9, so index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, our ring finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 2nd, and our middle finger will go on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So this is an E minor 9 chord. And again, if you happen to accidentally mute the string below that 5th string, then that's okay. Just as long as we're hitting that 2nd fret of the 5th string. So that's E minor 9. Then we go to an F sharp minor 11. So we're going to have our ring and pinky finger on the 4th frets of the 5th and 4th string, and our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And our 1st and 2nd strings are open. Now, if you can reach your thumb over the top to hit the 2nd fret of the 6th string, although that's not entirely necessary, we can just focus from the 5th string onwards if we want. That's F sharp minor 11, and then we go to a B minor 11, which is just our index and middle finger on the 2nd frets of the 5th and 3rd strings, and we're strumming from the 5th string onwards. You don't want the open 6th string ring. So those are our 3 chords: E minor 9, F sharp minor 11, and then B minor 11. Now our strumming patterns are going to be exactly the same here as what we had for the regular chord progression. The only difference though is that the F sharp minor 11 and the B minor 11 share the 2nd bar of strumming. And we're going to change on the end beat after the 2. So for the 2nd bar, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and we put that all together, and this is the chord progression variation. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... And those are all the rhythm parts you need to learn for this song. So let's take a look at the lead guitar now. Okay, so for the lead guitar, we have 3 lines of tab here. We're going to start off with an open 1st string. And then from this point onwards, we have groups of 3 notes, or what we call triplets. So for this first set of triplets, we're going to hit the open 1st string, but then hammer our middle finger onto the 2nd fret. And then we'll finish this with one final upstroke. So the first 2 notes in this triplet are a result of a hammer-on. First note is the open 1st string, the 2nd note is the 2nd fret hammered on, and then the 3rd note is the upstroke on that hammered on note. So that triplet. Now for the next triplet, we're going to hit this note and slide it up to the 3rd fret, and then an upstroke on that. That's our second triplet. For the final triplet of this bar, we're going to hit this 3rd fret and slide it up to 5th, and then one upstroke. So that's it for this bar, which sounds like this. For the second bar, we're going to hit this 5th fret and slide down to the 2nd fret, and then followed by one upstroke. So we're always starting these triplets with a downstroke and then ending them with an upstroke. For the next triplet, we're going to hit this 2nd fret and slide up to 3rd, and then finish with an upstroke. For this next triplet, we're going to hit that 3rd fret of the 1st string and pull off to the open 1st string. Now to pull off, have your finger fretted, but pull your fretted finger in a downwards motion, and that way you'll get the 2nd string. And then end with an upstroke on the open string. And for the final triplet, it's open 1st string, hammer onto the 2nd fret. And the second bar in total. For the 3rd bar, we're going to hit the 2nd fret, slide up to the 3rd for this triplet, and with an upstroke. And then for the next triplet, it's 3rd to 5th fret, slide up, and with an upstroke. For the next triplet, it's 5th to 7th, slide up, and end with an upstroke. At this point, we have no more triplets, and we're just going to finish off with 3 more plucks. The 7th fret one more time, the 5th fret, and then back to the 7th fret. So the 3rd and 4th bar. And all together for the first line of tab. For the second line of tab, we just go up to the 12th fret of our first string. Now, we're just going to be plucking this at triplets. So it'll be a continuous down, up, down, picking motion. Play this in groups of 3. So triplet, 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 triplet. And that's 1 bar of the triplets. We're basically going to be playing this note for 3.5 bars plus 1 extra note. So in that final bar, it's triplet, triplet, end. So the second and third line of tabs. Triplet, 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 triplet. And that's it for the solo. If you want to see it in context, go to the playthrough at the end of this lesson. Now I'll teach you a slight variation to that solo though, because there's an overlapping 12-string guitar lead part, which I think sounds a little more interesting to play as opposed to just staying on this 12th fret again and again. So this is a descending scale run. So after we've hit that 12th fret with the triplets for 2 bars, I play that with my pinky finger because then we move that down to the 10th fret of the first string and we're playing triplets again, but we'll go 10th, 9th, 7th, and then back up to our previous note and descend again. So 9th, 7th, and then 10th fret of the second string. We'll go back to our previous note again, which is our 7th fret, then descend again, 10th fret, and then 8th fret of our second string. For the final triple, we go back up to the 10th fret, 8th, and then 7th. And that bar for the next bar, we'll go back up to our previous note, which is 8th fret, and then descend to 7th and then 9th fret of the third string. Back up to our previous note, 7th fret of the second string, and then descend again. 9th fret, 7th fret of the third string. For the next triplet, back up to our previous note, so 9th fret, descend to 7th, and then go down to 6th. For the final triplet, we go back up to the 7th fret, back down to 6th, and then the 7th fret of the 4th string. To end this, we'll go up to the 9th fret of the 4th string. So the second and third bar. Now for this whole run, I'm doing alternate picking, so constantly down, up, down, up. And from the second line of tab, it will sound like this. If you want to see that variation of the solo in context, then skip to the playthrough at the end of this lesson. But those are all the guitar parts to this awesome tune. So now I'll be doing a short playthrough of this song. Now I'm just going to be playing the intro, the first verse, the first chorus, and then jump right into the solo after that. Because this song is literally just that 2-chord chord progression played the whole way through, there's no need for me to demonstrate the whole thing for you. A big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Buzz and the sky.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.